What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. You're probably wondering, Barca Boy, why the hell are you making a news video after that match against Inter? Look, I don't want to, but there is a space, and if I don't make this news video, the next one that I make down the line will probably be like an hour long. So I want to get this over with, talk about a lot of updates that there is in the news and very important topics. I don't want to do it, but then again, it is, a very therapeutic session for me to vent out my frustration and vent out my feelings on Barcelona after the few days that we've had. So we will talk about, firstly, free agents. As we all know, we're still broke, so free agents will be a big target for Barcelona. We've been linked with so many names: Jorginho, Inigo Martinez, Kante, Skriniar, Tielemans, Dalot, but of course the main one being Lionel Messi. Laporta right now is planning to, pursue that free agent signing, with Xavi and also Messi's family playing a key role in his decision. Also, the club want to prioritize reinforcing the midfield this summer, with the two targets being Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva. The club really want to sign both midfielders this summer. Also have an update on the contract renewal of Alejandro, Balde, and the possible return of Nico from his loan move to Valencia in January. And finally, I will be giving you guys a recap on the General Assembly that took place last week, all the decisions that happened, and also how Barcelona can make some more money in the future, with now we're not going to be giving that Champions League revenue, and also some big insight on the Barcelona board paying the fee to register Jules Koundé because Piqué and Busquets did not want to take a salary reduction. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market. They have fantastic qualities at fantastic prices. I ordered some the other day, and I got the treble winning jersey for Barcelona in the 14-15 season. The quality is absolutely unreal at a fantastic price. Look at the badge on the jersey. It is fantastic. You have the Nike logo as well, looking brilliant. It has the right tags, the right size, the right material, and it's at a fantastic price. And on their website, they do have the new Barcelona kit for this season with the Spotify logo. You can pick what badge you want on the sleeve: La Liga, Champions League. You can pick whatever number you want, whatever name you want on the back as well. And again, the material is absolutely unreal. Here I have the 2007 Champions League kit for Barcelona. As you can see, it has the UNICEF logo, the Nike, the Barcelona badge with the Camp Nou name around it. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout, 15% off, and all orders over $80 get free shipping as well. So go down below, top link in the description, and get your new football kit today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past week or so. The first players that we have been linked with are free agents. As we all know, Barcelona this summer will not have too much money to spend. The budget will not be that big, especially not with us, going to be in the Europa League in a few weeks' time. Of course, the Champions League money was going to be very important. Nonetheless, we won't have that much money that we did last summer. Now the club want to prioritize signing free agents. Now, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are following the free agent markets, and the specific players they want are Jorginho, Tielemans, Kante, and also Skriniar for next summer. Again, very high profile free agents. I'm gonna say this now, we're gonna get linked to every single decent free agent 1000%. Do we need Tielemans? No. Do we need Kante? No. Do we need Jorginho? No. Skriniar would be a good addition, but the reality is we're gonna get linked with every single free agent. Some of them will have good links, multiple reports. Some of them will just be, a name thrown out there here and there. And even Sport came out saying that Lionel Messi, Diogo, Dalot, who technically really is not a free agent, Jorginho, and Inigo Martinez are the free agents that Barcelona are tracking. Again, some similar names there, but still very different. The main reason, of course, for the free agent rumors is, of course, Mateu Alemany said in the General Assembly a week ago, said that signing free agents will be a priority. He was asked in General Assembly about signing free agents 2023. He said we had to focus more and more on the market of players who are free. This year, we have done well with Kessié and Christensen, Alonso and Bellerin, and many more will come in the future. So he's saying, look, with the current financial situation, we have to capitalize on the free agent market without a shadow of a doubt. But let's now discuss some of the free agents who have been heavily linked to Barcelona. First one is Jorginho, and also Kante. Reports coming in from the Evening Standard in Chelsea in London came out saying that Barcelona want to sign both N'Golo Kante and Jorginho on free agent transfers, with Chelsea contracts due to expire at the end of the season. Couple things. One, why are we linked with every single Chelsea free agent? It's ridiculous. Secondly, I don't think these are the two profiles that we need. I think N'Golo Kante, of course, in his prime was fantastic, but right now, he's injury prone. He'll come in, he'll be fit for a week, injured for a month. Right now, he can barely stay fit for Chelsea. I would stay clear of him. With Jorginho, I understand why the club want to be linked with him, but I think for me, he could be Alonso 2.0 in the sense that the Chelsea fans right now are complaining that he's slow for the Premier League. Imagine he's going to come to La Liga. Yes, La Liga is a bit of a slower league than the Premier League, but it's not, ridiculously slow. There's no big comparison. I think there are other players in that position where Barcelona can capitalize way more on. But again, him being a free agent does attract the club a lot. So I would say keep an eye on Jorginho, but Kante, I think, is more so just because Jorginho's lane just chucking Kante's name as well. I can't really see Kante happening, but Jorginho definitely keep a watch out for. But I believe right now the most likely free agent that Barcelona will sign is Inigo Martinez. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Inigo Martinez is a priority for Barcelona and will become a free agent in 2023. The club could even sign him in January as long as the economic conditions are viable for Barcelona. That for me is definitely interesting. Now, Edu Polo of Mundo Deportivo, who we all know is very, very close to the club, he came out saying that Barcelona had contacted Inigo Martinez to sign him last summer, but they couldn't. Now they're recontacting him to sign him next summer when Inigo becomes a free agent. Barring any surprises, Inigo Martinez will be a Barcelona player at some point in 2023. Now, I think that January option is very, very interesting. If we still can't keep our center backs fit, Christensen, Koundé, Araujo, Piqué becoming a big liability, we could even terminate his contract. Maybe he could force Piqué to retire. Then you're looking at, 10 million for Inigo Martinez, get him a little bit early. It's not going to be too bad. But again, Bilbao will not let him go. Ernesto Valverde absolutely loves the player. Of course, when Valverde was the coach of Barcelona, he was desperate to sign him. We almost did, but in the end, Bilbao was asking for too much money. So I think Barcelona have this in their mind to go for him in January, but I think Bilbao will make it very, very difficult. Again, will there be money in January? I'm not quite too sure, but definitely keep your eyes on Martinez as a free agent this summer, alongside the other player who will most likely be rumored to Barcelona as a free agent, but I think Martinez is way more likely, is of course Lionel Messi. A lot of rumors about him as well. There are reports coming out saying that after the departure of Messi, Laporta promised the player that at the end of his contract with PSG, he would be offered a contract to return to Barcelona. The Messi family has adapted to life in Paris, but they consider Barcelona their home. And then we got the big news from La Vanguardia. They came out saying that Messi to Barcelona in 2023 is underway. Official contacts have already begun, and Laporta has decided to build a statue of Leo Messi in front of the Camp Nou. Laporta then later on confirmed this news at the General Assembly. The Messi statue will be built as part of Espai Barca, 100% confirmed. Now the question now is, will Leo Messi be a Barcelona player when that statue is revealed? Now, again, Messi rumors, there's nothing really new for me. Sky is blue, grass is green. I've seen no change. I don't think anything will change until the World Cup ends, of course. But then we got a big news from Gerard Romeu. Now, keep in mind, Gerard Romeu, number one source around Barcelona still. He's still the top dog in the Barcelona outlet. And he came out with a big statement saying that those who don't want Messi to return to Barcelona, get ready. So, another shot there. Poor Piqué. He's getting slated, but does he deserve it? I think he does. But again, that's another shot at Piqué. There's some board members who don't want Messi as well because they don't think it's, worth it. They're like, oh, we let him go. We said goodbye. What's the point of saying goodbye again? Bring him back in. Restructuring the whole entire club to bring him back in. So some board members as well. So Jordan Romeu saying, strap your seatbelts. Look, once the World Cup ends, we'll talk about it. I think right now it's still too early to call, so we'll wait and see. Now, as we all know, this summer, one of the main priorities for Barcelona, of course, is to sign a right back, with the main priority at the moment most likely being Diogo Dalot. Now, Sport came out with a big statement saying that Barcelona have already contacted Diogo Dalot's entourage. The player's contract expires in 2023, but Manchester United do have the option to renew it automatically without Diogo Dalot's consent until 2024. Signing a right back is the priority for Barcelona, and Diogo Dalot is at the very top of the club's shortlist. And then Fabrizio Romano came out confirming the news. He came out saying that Barcelona are sending their scouts to monitor Manchester United's Diogo Dalot. Barcelona scouts have been monitoring him since the last season as well as this season. Barcelona like the player a lot as they are looking for a right back in the summer. Now, free agent, like I said before and I'll say it again, I think Dalot is a good option to have as a number 2, compete for number 1. I don't think he's that starting quality yet in my opinion. I can't see him. He's right now the number 1 choice for Man United. Why would he leave for Barcelona, who are going to offer him maybe number 1 spot, maybe number 2 spot? I think that's the reality, and of course, it's pretty much confirmed at this point that Man United will extend his contract by 1 year by triggering that clause. So theoretically, he won't be a free agent this summer. So for me, I don't really see it as a market opportunity anymore. But I think in reality, you could see this deal being rumored a lot in the summer. Again, besides from him and the next right back we'll talk about, we've been barely linked with any right backs that were strong reports. We've heard, the trends here and there that reach James, but they come from absolutely nowhere. The strong ones, of course, have been about Diogo Dalot, and also the next one on Vanderson. Now, Sport came out saying that apart from Dalot, Barcelona are also tracking Stefan Singo, who plays right now for Torino in Serie A, and Vanderson to strengthen the right back position. Now, for Stefan Singo, I've never heard of him before until we got linked with him. I took a look at him. He looks okay. Again, another up-and-coming right back. I think Vanderson does look better than him. I think he's playing in a better league, better team, and also, what's the word? I think he'll grow more in Ligue 1 for Monaco than I think the Sengo plays for Torino. So I think Vanderson could be the better option, but again, he will be like quadruple the price to be fair. Again, for the right back, we'll have to wait and see. Definitely alongside, I would say, Messi and / Inigo Martinez as free agent. The right back is one of the priorities for the summer. Alongside the third and final priority of the summer, which of course will be signing a midfielder or midfielders. Now, Edu Porto from Deportivo, again, very, very reliable. He's come out saying that Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva are Barcelona's priorities to reinforce the midfield. If they manage to sign both, they will not look to sign anyone else for the midfield. Now, for me, this is very interesting because if you look at it on paper right now, where do Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva fit? Of course, Zubimendi, direct replacement for Busquets. You have Nico coming back from loan. Those are going to be your 2 pivots. Right-hand side, you have Dion Cassier. Where's Bernardo Silva fit there? Left-hand side, you have Pedri and Gavi. Where's Bernardo Silva fit there? I think Bernardo Silva will only come in again if Frankie de Jong does end up leaving. You could have Bernardo as a wing option, but then you're talking about Messi coming in as a free deal. I'm still very firm that Bernardo Silva will only come in if Frankie de Jong does leave. Now, more on Bernardo Silva. Joan Laporta came out saying that, of course, he broke the news yesterday that Jorge Mendes and Mateu Alemany and Joan Laporta had a meeting yesterday in Barcelona, and Bernardo Silva was discussing that meeting, but the big topic I will discuss, of course, in a few minutes. But during that meeting, he told the club about the renewal offer Man City have made to Bernardo Silva. So we heard over the summer that they offered him the same wages as De Bruyne, but Bernardo Silva has rejected it. But now Man City apparently have made a new renewal offer. Figures and details of the contract are still unknown, but he did show that contract renewal to Barcelona to see where they're at. Can we match that? Can we tempt him to leave Barcelona? I think this year, or this summer, should I say, he'll have 2 years left of his contract. That'll be the best time for Man City to get the best price out of him and sell him. So keep your eyes on Bernardo, but again, I think it's very unlikely unless we have a big sale somewhere in the team, whether it's the attack, the defense, or most likely in that midfield for Frankie de Jong. But with a sale or without a sale, I think Zubimendi definitely is an option for Barcelona, but he is on the verge of renewing his contract with Real Sociedad. The president of Real Sociedad came out saying that we are very close to reaching an agreement with Zubimendi to renew his contract. Now, I'm hoping that he'll keep that release clause, because if he does, that'll pretty much keep his value, but if they increase that release clause from 60 to 100, we're going to be back to square one for sure. Edu Polo also came out saying that Zubimendi is Barcelona's priority to reinforce the pivot position. It is a priority from a sporting point of view. The club will analyze the pros and cons, and then they will consider whether or not they can afford to sign him or not. So the club have identified him as number 1. What they'll do now is analyze his game, send out scouts, do all that sort of stuff, and then see whether or not they should go and push for a signing or maybe look at other options. So we'll wait and see on Zubimendi, but I think definitely he will be a big target for Barcelona this upcoming summer. And finally, I kind of got on a tangent here, just covered all the transfer news at once, but one player that we will probably link to, and I'd say about 2024, 2025 time, will be, of course, Erling Haaland, I know, I'm just reporting the news, don't slay me in the comments. Of course, Lewandowski will not be the striker for Barcelona forever. He's more so of a short-term fix, with Barcelona probably eyeing Erling Haaland as a long-term fix. Now, Oriel from TV3, as we all know, very reliable. He came out saying that Barcelona and Real Madrid can buy Erling Haaland in 2024 because he has a release clause in his contract of 200 million euros for certain clubs mentioned in the contract. We're hearing it's Man City. Or sorry, not Man City. We're hearing that's Man City. We're hearing that's Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris Saint Germain, and also Bayern Munich. Those are the 4 main clubs that can trigger that release clause. We're hearing in 2024 it'll be 200 million. Then 2025 it'll be 150 million. I think for 150 million, Erling Haaland would be a good deal. I think we stick with Lua until 2025, then make that switch and bring in Haaland. But the competition for him will be ridiculous, and of course, you also keep an eye on Mbappe's future as well. Wait and see how that goes. I think Haaland's contract expires in 2026, and Mbappe, of course, 2025. But Mbappe wants to leave right now, apparently. But anyway, so those are all the transfer news. I just ran through it all quickly. There you go. I didn't even change the caption or do any cuts, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think again, very clear for Barcelona. They want to capitalize on the free agent market this summer, with I think Messi and Martinez, in my opinion, the top 2 targets. Right back, Dalot and Vanderson, and then midfield, Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva. Then Haaland down the line in 2024 or 2025. Now, over the past 24 hours, Joan Laporta and Mateu Alemany did meet with the super agent Jorge Mendes in Barcelona to discuss 3 topics. Of course, one of them, not the priority, Bernardo Silva, just talked about him, but the 2 main priorities of that meeting were Alejandro Balde and Nico Gonzalez. Gerard Romeu came out saying that in the meeting between Barcelona and Jorge Mendes today, they discussed the possibility of breaking Nico Gonzalez's loan at Valencia and bringing him back to the club in January. And also, Jorge and Mendes' agents told one of the Kante's reporters that his visit was to discuss the renewal of Alejandro Balde. I think also Nico from Cupra. Other reports came out saying that the priority for Barcelona right now is to renew Balde's contract, and they want to do it as soon as possible. They see him as a huge talent, with of course his contract expiring not this summer 2023, but the following summer 2024. But the club are considering calling back Nico from his loan. Hector Gomez, the #1 source around Valencia, has come out saying that Barcelona are in fact considering the option of calling back Nico from his loan move at Valencia, but Valencia claim at the moment they have not received any official calls from Barcelona, nor do they know anything about this issue. If you don't know, over the past few weeks, Nico has not been playing for Valencia whatsoever. He's come off the bench for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be. Apparently, Gattuso doesn't really fancy him. As we all know, in the summer, Gattuso called Nico to convince him to come to Valencia, and then Nico put in that loan request. Xavi said yes, because he wants to go out there and play regular football. Understandable, of course. At the time, we had Pjanic, then we saw Pjanic last second. Now we're just stuck with Busquets. I think bringing back Nico would be fantastic. He gets to learn from Busquets in training, and also he will play a lot, and I mean a lot, because right now Busquets is on the ropes beyond belief. I think bringing back Nico is so important, and definitely should be studied. I'll sit down with Valencia and say, look, if you don't play him, give him back to us. It's as simple as that. Would I pay to get back Nico? Absolutely not. I think we have the right. We should hopefully have the right to bring him back as a without paying a fee, but if we have to pay a fee, I think that'll be ridiculous. But again, it will be basically, of course, negotiations with Valencia. But the fact that the club are considering this option for me is absolutely huge. It's again not more so that Nico is bad, he's not doing well, bring him back. It's more so that we do need him, and also at Valencia, he's not playing. Of course, even Collado recently at Elche has not been playing too much. Abdi's doing well at Osasuna. Trincao haven't even bothered. Of course, Griezmann is sold now. Des is doing crap. Longlet's doing okay. Umtiti's doing, meh. So, in terms of low moves, I think Nico's situation is one definitely to be analyzed. And now the club are reconsidering calling him back from his loan move. That is absolutely huge. And of course, the club now are focusing on the contract renewal of Alejandro Balde. The club see him as a future for the left back position at Barcelona and want to tie him down to a long-term deal as soon as possible. But again, a lot of communication with Jorge Mendes about Bernardo Silva, Alejandro Balde, and Nico. Now, the biggest event over the past week or so for Barcelona has been the General Assembly, which takes place a few times in a year, and the last one did take place before the match last weekend against Celta Vigo. I think it took place on the game day. It lasted about 9 hours. I did not watch it because it started at 4 a.m. my time. It went all the way until I think a few hours before kickoff. But I do want to summarize what was taking place in this General Assembly, what decisions were made as well, and also some of the big outcomes from it. Now, I did mention, of course, the Mateu Alemany quote about the free agents. We do have more quotes from Mateu Alemany, Joan Laporta, and Eduard Romeu. But let's firstly discuss the decisions that were made in the assembly. First up, the assembly approved the ratification of Barcelona Studios operation, of course, signing those stakes in the summer. Clear vote, 460 yes, 39 no, and 21 blank. The assembly also approved the budget for the financial year of the 2022-2023 season, 478 yes, 35 no, 15 blank. They also approved the ratification of the transfer of the audiovisual rights. Again, that was already done in the summer, 474 yes, 39 no, with 13 being blank. And the assembly also approved the settlement of the 21-22 financial year as well, 548 yeses, 43 no's, and 23 blanks. And finally, they also approved the ratification of the transfer of the audiovisual rights as well, 591 said yes, 38 no, and 18 blanks. So again, great day for the Barcelona board. They got all the decisions they wanted. They got all yeses for everything. Let's now get into the quotes that Mateu Alemany, Joan Laporta, and Eduard Romeu did speak about in this assembly. Firstly, Joan Laporta, he came out saying that together we saved Barcelona. What we inherited was very bad. The hole that was left was very big, but we have been covering it up. We come back from a lack of governance and internal controls that caused the club to collapse. I can proudly announce that this October, Spotify will launch its application in Catalan. Great news. We've achieved the biggest budget in history with a revenue of 1.25 billion and profits of 274 million. We define levers as operations that optimize our resources. Barcelona is alive and we have enormous capacity to attract capital. We are aware that we cannot operate on this basis of levers just alone. The financial situation of European clubs is very worrying. State clubs or state-owned clubs have unlimited resources and UEFA gives them power. That's why we support the Super League, but soon we will have news and dialogue channels will be established. The Super League will find solutions to the problems. The principle of solidarity and mediocrity are followed in the Super League. He was then asked about, Javier Tebas and the situation there. He said that, look, we have known Mr. Tebas for many years. He is an unpassionate man with a character, jealousy of what he is. He's the person who must be served of the clubs, and sometimes with excessive enthusiasm, he forgets that. According to him, he's been very careful, but he's not. He has harmed us. A very reconstructive regulation excess is applied to us, and he himself saw that he had to open up his sleeves more. So him referring there saying, look, because of him, we've activated levers. Of course, he talks about Lewandowski coming to Barcelona and all these other players that, of course, hinder our negotiation tactics as well. So Joan Laporta is not happy with Javier Tebas. He has a very, very crap league with very crap rules. How we have restrictions, but when other leagues don't and we can't compete with them is absolutely beyond me. Then Eduard Romeu came in for a few seconds here, so he was asked a few questions as well. He came out saying that I stick with the sentence that there is a lot left to do. The message is clear to us. We inherited what was much worse than we imagined. I'm not just upset about what was done wrong, but I'm also upset about what wasn't done to rectify that. They know that the Aspire Barca project has an impact on the economic and social level. If they did their homework, this should have been a reality. Now back to Joan Laporta. He came out saying that 670 million euros we achieved from the sale of television rights was not enough for the league. We had to also sell 49% of Barcelona Studio, 24% of course for Socios, and 24.5% for All Press Media. With 876 million euros from the levers, the league said it was not enough to register Jules Koundé. The board endorsed 10 million euros to register Jules Koundé. Mateu Alemany did participate in this operation. Wow. If you don't know what that means, he's basically saying, look, we earned 867 million euros from levers. We gave it to La Liga. This is that it was all good. We could register all these players, but we're still missing 10 million euros. We can now generate that from sales. So the board, Mateu Alemany, Joan Laporta, Jordi Cruyff, Rafael Uste, Eduard Romeu, the other guy, the boring guy, Oscar Gil, I think his name is, I don't know. They all put in money to register Jules Koundé. And then, of course, he did take some digs about the captains not taking wage cuts, which, of course, did upset Busquets and Piqué. If they took the wage cut, the board would have to pay out of their own pocket to register Jules Koundé, but they did. So, you know what? I'm going to give them a round of applause. This shows how much they care about the club, and how some players don't. I cannot believe this. We, of course, during the time during the summer, we did not know this was happening. We just saw that, we could register Koundé. We waited 2 weeks, and then he's been registered. Apparently, They said at the time we finessed some numbers and stuff like that, but in reality, the club, well, not the club, the board gave up their own money to register Jules Koundé. So shout out to them. Joan Laporta then confirmed, of course, about the Messi statue, saying that we will build a statue of Leo Messi outside the Camp Nou. The decision has been made. Then he talked about the Antoine Griezmann sale. Of course, it has not been officially announced by Barcelona, but he did announce it in the General Assembly. He said that, look, Antoine Griezmann is one of the good deals we've done so far this in our term. We got 20 million for him, plus 4 in add-ons, plus a difference if Atletico Madrid sell him for up to 40 million euros. So if Atletico Madrid somehow, let's say, for example, sell Griezmann for 50 million euros, Barcelona would receive 10. So anything above, any dime that Atletico Madrid get above 40, we keep the difference, which I think is good, but they ain't selling him for 40. They'll sell him for maybe 5 max. And if he came back, he would have had a salary of 36. Let me say that one more time with the mic in my face. 36 million euros per year salary, and that would have been absolute drama. And this is why I said, you know what? I'm okay with us selling Griezmann for 20. I think, look, 40 would have been perfect, would have made the situation a bit better, getting more money in. But just the thought of him coming back with that wage was just not it for Barcelona. And you know what? Credit to Atletico Madrid. They bent us backwards. They beat us in this case. They were benching Griezmann, not playing him for 60 minutes, all that sort of stuff. I think the club did analyze going to court, and they realized, look, it would be a sticky situation, maybe a 50-50. Spend time, money, effort in court. Wasn't worth it. We'll take the half price, and we'll walk away. And then Laporta ended up by saying, we saved Barcelona. And he's not wrong. Like I said, Joan Laporta, during his year and a half as a president, did make a few mistakes, but he's always learned from them. Messi, Frankfurt, Europa League, he's learned. He will not make those mistakes again. And again, 10 million. The board funded Koundé's registration because we couldn't sell players because of their freaking contracts, and also some captains were being a bit of pricks and did not want to reduce their salary as well. So, quite Joan Laporta and the board. Let's continue on. We do have now some quotes from Eduard Romeu. He's, of course, talking about the actual numbers of the club. He came out saying the sale of the Barcelona corporate was contemplated for 200 million euros. There were 4 other assets here, with small part of what was made up of Barcelona corporate, Barca Studios. We obtained that figure. And then he was asked about he wants investors who want to buy the BLM. That anyone who wants to buy BLM travel companion will have to pay the price that we want. They explains the numbers, saying that they are 750 million euros in ordinary and 267 million libras with 10% of the TV rights. And for the expansion, we have not been able to reach the figures we wanted. We have not been able to reduce the wage bill as much as we wanted as well. But we will see the end of the tunnel very soon. We are making every effort to increase the income. And of course, spending control is key as well. And the market has already begun to value it. We've then heard from the president of Economic Commission, Jaime Guardiola. He came out saying the 98 million euro profit makes it possible to reduce the negative equity, which was our first objective. And this is a result of the extraordinary operation. The results have been a negative deficit of 100 million euros. We are aware that part of the income depends on competitiveness. So again, they're explaining why they sold it, where the money is going to, which of course is absolutely fantastic for us culés to know where the money is going. Then Mateu Alemany stepped to the stage. Of course, he's the man, this football director. He came in and talked about everything football. Firstly, he put up a slide where he showed the summary of the summer transfer market. So Pjanic Braithwaite Neto, contract termination, Nico, Dest, Lenglet, Abdi, Collado, Umtiti, Trincao, loans, and then sales, Griezmann, Coutinho, Aubameyang, Jukla, Ricky Puig, Mingueza, Reymani, and also Moussa Wagué. Now, I thought Reymani and Moussa Wagué were, and also Ricky Puig and Mingueza were all let go for free, but in reality, we do have some money in there because, of course, if something happens, we have the option to buy them back, future selling clause, so there is still some money to be gained from those transfers, but with Pjanic, Braithwaite, Neto, they're all gone. Of course, loans are basically loans. Now, Mateu Alemany came out saying that we have some players whose wages are not within the market. These players are also impossible to transfer. Our big goal is to get rid of these wages as soon as possible. When we arrived, we found around 12 to 13 players with 200%, 300%, even 400% of their wages were above the market price. So, of course, Bartomeu did that on purpose. You overvalue players to screw over the new board. And Mateu Alemany saying, look, our wage bill is still not great. Of course, it has improved massively over the past year. It's still not optimal. And this summer, we will make the big cuts. Again, it's the captains. Busquets, Piqué, Roberto, Jordi Alba. Not Roberto because he renewed and he's on peanuts, but more so Busquets, Piqué, Jordi Alba. Once they're off the wage bill, that wage bill will decrease like no tomorrow. He then explained, of course, the departures of Antoine Griezmann and Felipe Coutinho, who, of course, are the two biggest signings in the club's history. He came out saying the departure of Griezmann and Coutinho have generated huge savings in our wages. Saving on their wages was more valuable than what Atletico Madrid and Aston Villa, respectively, paid for the players. Their salaries were prohibitive, so I value these operations very much. So he's saying, look, we just want to get rid of their wages. We didn't really give a damn what fee we got for them. The fact we got a fee is a bonus, which just shows how Bartomeu did these transfers for. Ridiculous. And Mateu Alemany is saying this is the best sporting director or director of football in the world, saying that their wages, getting rid of them, was more significant than the transfer fee we got for them. Says enough. He was then asked about Ousmane Dembele, so that I have to say that the main point of the negotiation for Ousmane Dembele's renewal was to make the player and his agent understand that his salary was out of the market and that he had to adapt to the club's new salary scale. So again, as we all know, Dembele around December, January time was asking for around 800,000 euros per week. The club said no, they could not match it. In the end, the club convinced him to take that lower salary and, of course, base it all on variables and bonuses. And hopefully, he does renew his contract when, of course, the summer comes around. And lastly, he was asked about the sale of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. As we all know, what was the final few weeks of the window, we started negotiating with Chelsea for the transfer of Aubameyang, and he explained the reason why. He said the only player who left the past summer but was very important for us sportingly was Aubameyang. We sold him because it was a great business opportunity, and we didn't have the financial fair play that we needed. So again, get rid of his wages, of course. He's not going to be on 300,000 euros per week of Aubameyang because he's on 80,000 euros during the 6 months that he came in after the January transfer market. We needed more wage space to bring in to register Kante, Rafinha, all those other players, on top of the 10 million euros that the board paid out of their pocket. And also the opportunity was great fee, and also Alonso, who Xavi wanted on a free transfer as well. So pretty much clarifying what we already knew, with the fact that the club did not have any plans to sell Aubameyang and did not want to, but the opportunity presented itself and they took it. So overall, that's the General Assembly. That's a great, summary of it. But right now, the main question around Barcelona is how is the club going to make more money to, of course, reduce the wage bill, improve the squad, and balance FFP. So what I'm going to go through now is few ways where Barcelona can make some money in the next year. Firstly, of course, is the Super League. We are hearing currently there will be a ruling on December the 15th to decide whether the Super League is legal or not. If it is deemed legal, Barcelona will earn around 700 million euros in the first half of 2023. So again, Super League is going to get very, very intense once the World Cup ends. Strap your seatbelt for that. I think the Super League should come in. UEFA, pieces of a lot of them. Give me the Super League. I want some money. That's a reality. And of course, sponsors, one of the big ways that Barcelona has been earning money. Next sponsor that could be coming in is Cupra. Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying that Cupra, the car company, wants to become the sleeve sponsor for Barcelona. They're already Barcelona's automotive mobility partner, but they want to expand that relationship. White Byte was also close to reaching an agreement with Barcelona in August for 20 million euros, but Barcelona didn't fully trust them. So keep in mind, we still don't have a sleeve sponsor. That space is still open. That's guaranteed revenue each season that we could be using. And again, the club will be looking into getting in that sleeve sponsor as soon as possible. Again, they're not really a big fan of the cryptocurrency companies. We heard Polkadot, Whitebit, other companies, the club were close to reaching an agreement, but in the end, they backed out last second. So Cupra could be a big opportunity for Barcelona. Now, speaking on the kits, we do have some updates, of course, on the kits for next season. Of course, the main topic point being the white kit. Samuel Marzin and Moisés Lawrence from ESPN came out saying that Barcelona will be going ahead with their plans for having a white kit for next season. From surveys and reports, the club thinks the kit will sell well. And then a few days after this report, Footy Headlines came out officially confirming the two kits for Barcelona next season. Their design, of course, pending color shade changes. So on the left home kit, it will be 3 stripes, red, blue, red. Very, very similar to the 2017-18 season, or sorry, 2016-17, the final season under Luis Enrique. Very similar to that kit, but more so, it'll be darker. And then we'll have the white kit with, of course, the old crest as well. So keep that in mind. This will be the new 2 kits for next season for Barcelona. And yes, if you're still wondering, I still don't have the kits for this season because they're sold out all over the place. And last but not the least, one more avenue where Barcelona can make some money is from player sales. Of course, we do owe clubs right now a lot of money. We still owe money for Trincao, Artur, Pjanic, Coutinho, De Jong, Ferran, Des. But some clubs owe us money as well. Victor Navarro from Coke came out saying that clubs that owe Barcelona money Aston Villa still owe us around 10 million euros for Coutinho. Wolves still owe us the entire loan fee for Trincao. Sevilla still owe us the entire fee of Rakitic for 2.3 million. I think we sold him for 3 or something like that. And then Club Brugge, of course, still owe us some money for the sale of Juklad this summer. Almeria still owe us a fee for Hakimi, who I think we sold last summer. And then Getafe still owe us 1 million for Alenia as well. So if you're looking at it all together, you're looking at around 25 million euros as a total, maybe 24, 23. Not good with mental math, but money is money. We will take it. We'll earn more from getting the monies for these transfers than we do win the Europa League. Keep in mind, by the way, we only get 14 million euros for winning the Europa League. Going through all the entire stages, 14 million euros. Just for qualifying for the next round of the Champions League, you get 20. So that just shows how Barcelona are going to be missing heavily on the financial basis. But of course, there are many avenues where Barcelona can make some money. We're not going to be, totally screwed because we didn't qualify for the Champions League round 16. Yes, it's a blow, but in the reality, the club will find other methods and other formulas to make the money that they need. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first, of course, is on the free agents. If you can only pick 2, which 2 free agents would you sign and who would you prioritize? Secondly, on those midfield targets for Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva, if you can only pick 1, who would you sign? But do you believe both are still possible to be signed this upcoming summer? Thirdly, on the return of Lionel Messi, think will happen or not? And finally, your thoughts on the General Assembly, of course, us making money for in the ways that I mentioned, new kit, Cupra deal, Super League, and also your thoughts on the board giving their own money out of their own pocket to register Jules Koundé. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.